My name is Yvette Fentland, and I'm here today with Theresa Perry, and I Used to Be Your Neighbor podcast. Teresa is an advocate and has been working for the homeless community for over 30 years. Teresa, how are you today?
I'm good.
Good.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So tell us what's been going on lately in Arkansas that you know about, and any new updates that you have for us.
Well, what I like about Arkansas and the homeless community is they're really trying to do more. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have your good and your bad. I like the way they're trying to hopefully get more housing for people, get them off the streets, mm-hmm. much quicker. The only way I see some of them not coming off the street, it's their decision. But as far as Arkansas, look like they're really trying to do that. One thing I don't like about it is you'll see signs saying, don't feed them, don't this and don't do that. But what they said they're trying to do is get them to go to the shelters that's helping them. But, for me, let's be honest, some of the places and the shelters, as like in Kansas City, you only open a certain time. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. People get hungry later. People might have to take medicine later, so they need food, And then just, as you and I both know, the way things are going on now, inflation. I mean, all that I see where one leader called it greedflation. She done put a name on it, greedflation. And it's so true. It's, how can they make it after COVID? Some people became homeless after COVID. I mean, yeah. And it's like, how does someone tell me? It's like you can't, they're in a burrow and they can't get out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that many times before.
Yes. And I mean, they steady trying to climb out, but I don't know, just the money, then let's just be honest, some money being given out and it's not being used the right way. If they say for homelessness, use it for homelessness. They say for housing, use for, but in certain places, this is Fort Smith, where I see it's another part of Arkansas, they're building housing for homelessness right mm-hmm. now. Mm-hmm. So they're doing that, but here, stuff is just moving slower in some parts, And then, like I said, I'll tell the truth all the way around. You have those that make the decision. They're just tired. They kind of gave up. They just let them sleep on the street. So mm-hmm. It's becoming more prevalent everywhere to me.
Yeah, it seems to be a problem, not just here, but in California, in North Carolina, a bunch of different states that we're actually trying to work and help, the homeless community, and also keep people, up to date with what's going on and how they can get involved and help, even if it's just volunteering a few hours. It's important to know where to go and what to do and how to do it, because a lot of people just don't even know. So they give up. They don't, volunteer because, again, they just don't trust anybody or any organizations of where the money's going. It's not being distributed correctly or at all. Right. Let's face it. And that seems to be a big problem. And we want to get to the bottom of this. We want to know why. Right. What's the holdup? Why is it that the money's not being distributed correctly? Where is the money going? Those are all really important questions that I think a lot of people have asked, but nothing's been done about it.
Right. And it's time. It's time for something to be done, because I think even from the White House on, I'm glad you're giving money in these areas, but are you making sure after you give the money, who's the overseer to make sure the things are getting done, that the people are applying for the money, or you giving them the money to say, hey, this is what I want done, X, Y, and Z. Exactly. Housing for people, for more shelters or whatever. Or, well, take for instance in Kansas City, I heard they're going to give them $1 billion just to do something with 4 blocks. Wow. 4 blocks, $1 billion.
Well, that's great and all, but it depends on what they build and what they do with it. At least it's something better mm-hmm. than nothing. It's a start. Mm-hmm. But again, we want to make sure that those $4 billion go in the right place and not just building buildings. Because, I don't think it's going to take $4 billion to build a few buildings.
Where's this money really going?
Exactly.
Money is being told, here, let's do this. Or, Kansas City has a soccer thing coming in. Mm-hmm. And a lot of my homeless feel like that's why they feel they took that money and used it towards that, and they're not caring about what's going on. And that's why I said, who's making sure the money's getting spent the
Exactly.
right way? Because
Exactly.
money came there for homelessness, and it might even giving it to certain homeless organizations.
Yep. Yep.
I mean,
and that
are you
happens
doing
a
what you're
lot.
supposed to
They
do?
do. They distribute some of the money usually through different nonprofits and organizations. However, what are those nonprofits and organizations doing with that money? Now, if they're using it correctly to feed, to house, to put them in programs, okay, that's yay, all good.
Good.
But again, as much money as they're getting, and we're not seeing the results out of it,
Right.
that's questionable.
It's real questionable. Is in Kansas City, someone sent me I forget, it's where you can take information on people. It's like, case manager's supposed to be out and getting information on the homes. Well, they found a bunch of that paperwork behind the building. Like they took the information down. This is what you need. This is your name. But it was through behind a building, so it never did go into where it's supposed to went to say, hey, this is what this person needs. This is what it's going to take to get them on their feet, and da 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 da.
So it's like they start the process, but they don't really have a good strategy in place to distribute it properly. I know that they mean well. A lot of organizations out there really do truly start, and I say start,
Right.
Meaning well, but then somewhere along the line, greed, and I hate to put it that way, forgive me for speaking this way, but it's the truth and it's facts. I speak facts only. Therefore, greed takes place.
Yes.
And then some of these organizations become corrupt, unfortunately.
True.
And that's what we want to get to the bottom of this is why are so many organizations benefiting from the homeless community? Monetary has a lot to do with it.
Right.
But why are they benefiting so much? And again, we're not seeing results in the homeless community.
And real, it's happening so much more. It hurt me last week to hear about some senior citizens, I believe, in a building called Twin Oaks, because I'm like you, I state facts. I got a call. I got the call before. It's a group up there called KC Tenants got the call.
Yeah.
And look up, they're putting them out saying they get too much Social Security now.
Really?
There goes some more homeless senior citizens. They want them out of the whole apartment building.
Oh.
So I'm going to be honest, if we're going to state facts, a lot of people it's certain people, they're moving them out in certain areas. And to me, you're letting the rich come in. And it's so, my thing is, the ones that I see, they'll say this is for low income, middle class, and that. Okay, that's cool. But when you just wipe them out altogether and say, hey, here come, but yes, you can look at the stories there. They did it last week, and I called KC Tenants myself and said, hey, I called a member. I said, do you see this? They're telling these seniors they got to move time, but they make too much now. And they send them a letter. They don't have no one there to on site, on the property. If they have problems, anything to help them. One senior had to get a job in order to keep making it because her medicine, all this, and how much she made from the job she retired from. It's almost like you want to go into apartment place or, a senior place because you're like, okay, now I'm done. I raised my kids, all that. But now you're going in there and they said it's something dealing with HUD. And now these people are being told, oh, you get too much Social Security. You get too much disability. And they got to move.
So according to they're
homeless.
Their standard of what is too much money for them, that's what I like to know, number one. Number two, because if a person that's living off of Social Security, and let's say they make only $1 to $5 more than what their cutoff is,
right?
How is that proper? That's not fair. That's not proper.
It's not.
And that's another big problem that we're facing is, unfortunately, builders, real estate, people come in and buy up everything. They saturate the market. They raise the prices, and then boom, they start clearing people out so that they, like you said, the rich can come in, or, they can actually benefit more from that area. But then where do people go? Where do we put them? Let's make sure that these people have a place to go to first.
Correct.
Let's make sure that, they're safe, and that if they're going to have to be moved out of the area, let's move them into a secure, safe place that they can afford.
We had dealt with this before. One of the seniors that called me the very first time, and I call her our senior citizen activist queen. She just died 2 weeks ago, and it's just fearful for me that She was the one fought when it was some HUD thing came down, and it was something about the different levels, and they were talking about putting them out then, and that was before COVID. And now it's really happening. So now you're getting ready to make more senior citizens homeless, but then you keep in Kansas City, they're bulldozing them out the way or whatever. They're I'll take clothes out there, whatever. When I was there, it's just sad. But I don't know, like you said, where do you go? They have somebody say, oh, they got hotels, they can go, they get this. You're giving these organizations money.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is, like I said, somebody going out there, just, hey, what do you need? Da 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 da. They might be placing 1-2 people there, but if you look at the statistics, it's like this was probably last year, 5,000 people that were out there homeless. It's way more now, because now they're hitting the senior citizen buildings. So that's 2 senior citizen buildings I know of that they didn't hit. Wow. They just hit this other one last week. No manager, no one to come do the property. And they got to move. And like they said, they've been looking for places, but they're $1,000 a month.
Yeah, it's still unaffordable.
So where they're going to go?
We need more affordable housing so that less people end up in the streets.
That's it.
Because we already have a battle in our hands from the people that have been in the streets for many, many years.
Yes.
And of course, we have natural disasters happening, hurricanes, fires, this, that. It's just nonstop. But we know the main reason is, again, higher prices, higher rent, like
property
you were saying,
taxes. They don't want up on the property. When I was there, we fought the property taxes. We fought the gas went up. The lights went up. The water went up. And it was brought to our attention how this was going to happen to move you
At least the last 2 to 3 years, I know that gas prices have gone skyrocket, and, food, groceries, everything. There are children out there right now that are, in fact, I just saw this in the news yesterday, over 750,000 children that do not have proper nutrition or even anything to eat, not enough to eat. They have to rely on the public schools, whatever they get per day. It's like our system has been broken for so long. We need to fix this.
Where they're taking their lives.
Yes. Suicidal rates are high.
Taking their lives. And then you say children. Yeah. I'm from Missouri, but over in Kansas, the youngest age of them being homeless is 7.
Oh my goodness, 7 years old.
7. This is
treacherous. This is too much.
Yeah, a guy here told me he was 14 on his own here in Arkansas, and he went through different things, crime and everything else. But now he's working. But he's still struggling a little bit. But he was out there homeless. Yeah, 14.
Yeah.
So it's like you said. To me, I keep telling people, and it just pops in my mind. And I heard somebody else discuss. If they give everybody just $100,000 to start off with it, a lot of them people gonna take it and do right.
Yeah,
How many people want to be on drugs? How many people want to be homeless?
Yeah, exactly.
How many people want to just do bad or be? No, they don't.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2. I Used to Be Your Neighbor podcast. Like, subscribe, and share.